Man. Shalom, shalom. Alright, first and foremost, giving all praises, glory, and honor be to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Sham, and Kakwadash. Alright, I'm gonna make sure that the Wi-Fi is not connected, because I know that messes up the... Alright, we should be good. Okay, those are the proper names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah equals He is, He exists. And, you know, Yah means He. Hawa means to be or to exist. Put it together. He exists, He is. And then Bahasham means in the name. And this is all in the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew. Bahasham, Ba means in, Ha means the, Sham means name. And then Yahawashi is the Son's name. And that means He saves, He delivers, He is salvation. Yah, once again, means He. Hawashai means to save, to deliver, or is salvation. Alright, so He saves, He delivers, He is salvation. And then Rakah, which means spirit. Kodash means holy. That is a spirit that's holy, or the Holy Spirit. Put it all together. Yahawah Ba'ashem, Yahawashi Ba'ashem, Kodash. Alright. And then second of all, we want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well, and teach well, and sincerity taught us this truth. Alright, that's still pushing this truth, man, and not wavering, not falling back, not slacking, not being slothful like certain other camps are. You know what I'm saying? Certain other men disappear, and you know, they disappear for months, years at a time. Slaki! Woo! Slaki! Rakata. Alright. They disappear for months at a time, and they come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's strange, right? And the scripture says, meddle not with a man that is given to change. Okay? And shalom to the Lord. So for elect 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability, rehearsing the righteous acts. Right? And to those men that's out there pushing, preaching, Salakia, man. I don't get allergies. I don't even know what's happening. But to those men that's out there pushing and preaching, risking their lives, man, you know, keep going. All right? Yahawah Shem Yahawashi is with us. He's going to protect us and keep us in all these situations, right? So, hey, let's get into this, man. The title of this lesson will be entitled Parasites, Edomites, and Israelites, oh my. Right? And it's play on words because I'm using it in the sense of the Edomites are the parasites as well. Okay? So, but I'm going to go in a little bit into parasites as well, you know, because what we're encountering, what we're going into, Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, you know, is where, and more so like going through the Feast of Unleavened Bread right now, right? What I've been seeing up on my timeline and just researching, right, is yeast overgrown. Okay, so that's what a lot of people are suffering with because of all the stuff they eat contains yeast. And for you women, especially you women, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna throw you off. It's gonna throw your pH balance off. Right? You're gonna get yeast infections and have problems in that particular area, man. You know, so hey man, most of these, especially so-called attractive women or whatever, right, if they're not attractive in their spirit, they're really not attractive. Okay? Because they could be pretty on the outside, but on the inside, it's trash. You know? She got all this infection and stuff going on the inside. And that's gonna spiral out to the outside because it's toxic. If she's toxic on the inside, she's gonna be toxic on the outside. Okay? So one thing that leads to that is these parasites. Now, if you don't know how to control or watch what you eat, then hey, it's most likely parasites are ruling over your mind. Parasites can mess with the mind and cause you to do certain things. They can cause you to be over sexual. Okay? They can cause you to be over aggressive. They can cause you to do have foolish decisions, foolish thoughts, foolish, you know, actions. So that's one thing that's gonna hit a lot of these people once all this sedition and all this anarchy and all this chaos, takes a heightened level, is their parasites. They're gonna be moving off their parasites, which controls your emotions. So they're gonna be out here spoiling, as it states in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, going around to around 16, 17, they're gonna spoil one another. They're gonna spoil each other's houses. Where they're moving off of emotions, they're not thinking logical. They're thinking off of parasites, which in a way is demons. Okay? So these people are just gonna, and they do it now. They move off the carnal sense. The carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. But it's these parasites. They don't know how to control their flesh. So everything that's in their flesh is ruling their decisions, and they're moving in haste. Now, bringing that back to the title is the Edomites are you put them right beside the definition of parasites, because that's what they are. They move off of pride. They move off of emotion. They don't make wise decisions. All right? Or if they do, it's wise to do evil. So they're moving off of a crybaby atmosphere, going back to Genesis 27 and 38, where Esau wept to get that blessing. That's how these Edomites move off of. And that's going off of emotions. They're not going off of logic. That's why Yahawah told Cain, which is Esau, we understand through regeneration, reincarnation, through the spirit, was that Yahawah told Cain, if you just do right, you'll be good. So they don't move off the logic of that, of just simply do right. They move off of what's happening right now. How can I change my life right now? All right? So temporary salvation, temporary enjoyment, temporary fulfillment, temporary satisfaction. And that makes them insatiable because they can't be satisfied. So they'll try to, they'll just continuously try to reach the next height, the next height, the next height. That's why they give you these dopamine roller coasters, such as Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or whatever, where you getting all this acceptance, which is illusion of acceptance, because it's not. These people don't care about y'all. You get 100 likes. How many of those people can you hit up when you're in a time of need? Or I was just liking your photo, bro. I don't really care about you. Come on, man. This is an illusion. All right? So these dopamine roller coasters, Esau is pushing out what he got. He has an illusion of controlling the world, but he's in a trick bag. So he gives everybody else that type of an experience. So as a true Israelite, a true son of God, one of the main things you're doing is you're fighting your flesh. You're beginning to train this flesh and control those urges, which ultimately go back to parasites. You're controlling that urge to let's say you could mess with multiple women, all right? Women come to you easy. You know what I'm saying? But now you're in this truth. You're not just messing with every chick that's just hitting your phone. You're considering now. You're controlling that urge to just go get one. All right? So you're fighting that old man, which was just moving in a Gentile mindset. What's that, Ephesians 4? No, Ephesians 5. All right? I'm about to get it when I get to my destination. But you're moving in that old man, and you're just doing stuff that came naturally. Guess what? Satan is giving you all of that. Yahawah is challenging you with that. He's trying to see if you're going to leave that behind, if you're going to leave the world behind, or if you're going to continue, to move how you used to move, just because it's the easier path. We go on the road less traveled. The road less traveled is the one where you deny that Debbie cake, you deny that Swiss roll, you deny, that Star Crunch, you deny all these, you deny the pleasures going until you forsaken all the stuff that's easy. We forsake the easy path, right? And we go down the hard path. So what we are gonna obtain, what pertains to us, is what Romans 9:3. You know, the service of power, right? The covenants, okay, all of that. So what pertains to us is something far more valuable than what pertains to a 2/3, an individual that sells out his own nation, an individual that doesn't care about Yahawah and Yahawashi. The power we worship, we serve, we honor is far greater than these Roman gods that our 2/3 individuals, you know, 2/3 individuals worship. So we ain't with your Easter, buddy. You know, we ain't with your bunny hopping. Alright? We ain't with your Ishtar, Aphrodite, alright, or Astaroth. It's the same individual. Because we are controlling our urges, and we're realizing, hey, our parents was wrong, Big Mama was wrong, Grandma was wrong. You know, they didn't have the proper understanding. They were moving in ignorance, and that's not a knock. I mean, it's a knock, but it's not really. It's like it wasn't time for them to wake up. And if they wake up now, then hey, the Halalyam like Yahawashi. But if they don't, then it just wasn't meant for them to wake up. Okay, but guess who did wake up? You were given that opportunity to move forth and to be a light to shine. And you know, hey, some may gravitate to you, right? But if they don't, then they won't. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So jumping back to it with the parasites, and I see it's lucky, man. I don't know, allergies. I don't got allergies though, but I've been sneezing today. But let me see. I get some precepts, man. I'm at this light. Hey, shalom to the brother endure all, man. Yahawashi Barak. All right, Hebrews 12:16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold the birthright. He's that definition of a parasite. He's that definition of an individual that can't control his emotions. He can't control his thoughts, you know. All right. So when our people align with the devil, as Yahawashi told the Pharisees, you are of your father the devil, they're aligning with their carnal mind. They're aligning with the flesh 100%. But we know to be in this thing, the flesh is dead, the spirit is alive. Right? And I had to plug the phone up. All right, so let's keep it going. Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of power. That's it. So we're doing the right things, the correct things. All right, as it states in Sirach, 38, or it might be 37, and like 26. I know what is good for you and know what's bad for you. You know, loosely quoting, just knowing what's good for you, knowing what's bad for you. And that's what? That's discernment. Having that discernment to know that, and ultimately going to the laws, commandments, and statutes, all right, as Ezekiel 44:5, I think. Nah, it might be 21. Salakia. When I get to the destination, I'm gonna get these scriptures, but declaring unto them the clean and the profane, basically. So we know wrong from right now. You know, when other individuals, they don't know wrong from right. Majority of these people out here, they don't know wrong from right. They just moving in a blender, getting chopped up. But we know not to even jump into that, not to follow these trends, not to follow these ways of these heathens, because it's not going to give you, you know, the reward that you seek. Hey, everybody looking for God. That's what they would say. You know, I'm looking for God. You know, all these individuals, these Christians, they looking for God, right? But they get on their journey and they think they found him at the church. And so they stop looking, they stop searching. Because they accept the BS that's given to them at that point, and they think this is it because your mama did it, your daddy did it, your grandma. This is what grandma did. She's still alive. She got gout. She got arthritis. She got diabetes. You know, she could barely move. You know what I'm saying? Because look at her ways. Look at how she lived. Look at all those parasites that's eating her up. Right? I watch Dr. Bobby Price a lot, man. He be going into health. And I saw this firsthand being in Japan. And then he talks about it on his show about these Okinawans where they be living to 100 and they still be able to walk around, move freely, and you know, they die in their sleep because the way of life that they live is not. And Japan in general is health conscious. Is, you know, so the way their food, you know, they eat a lot of fish. You know what I'm saying? It's just a better quality of life, and that's what we have been given. Just simply knowing the correct ways, the correct paths, knowing how to take care of our body, and having that discernment, right? Hey, the water. Okay? I'm about to get to my destination, man, and I'm gonna get a couple precepts, and then we can wrap it up. But going into Jacob's trouble, a lot of, like I said earlier, these parasites is gonna make a lot of these people do actions that they don't. Man, these people when they don't got no food. Okay, you know how it is for brothers that be fasting, which should be every brother. You know how it is when you fast, especially when you first start. You get that headache, boy. You know, but after you do it after so amount of years, you don't get that headache no more. Speaking for myself, I don't get that headache no more on the first day or the second day. You know, because I've been fasting a lot, continuously. So, but these people, let them go a day without food. Oh, they're going to be ready to kill you. Okay? And the situation is going to arise where they can kill you and get away with it because it ain't going to be no law. So what you think they're going to be doing, man? Their senses is going to be heightened. You know, you fast, you can smell everything. Right? Let's get these precepts. Okay. Hey, shalom to my brother Nashar. Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Barak. Alright. And this is Psalm 16:11. Thou wilt show me the path of life, in the presence of fullness of joy at thy right hand. There are pleasures forevermore. So don't settle for these temporary pleasures that this world is trying to give you. You know? I don't care what she look like, man. Right? The ugliest chick, but she got a good spirit, she got a good soul on her, she got good morality, you know, character, integrity, she got all that. You know, she gonna be far more beautiful than who you thinking about, you know. I don't know, man. You know, most of these chicks busted anyway, but the so-called finest chick that you would see today, the ugliest, but she's correct, she's proper, she serves Yahawah, Shem Yahawashi. Our women are gonna be beautiful in the kingdom, you know. And that shows furthermore, we ain't on no carnal. Isaiah 4:1 ain't for you to get that dream girl. That ain't what that's about. You know? You ain't gonna get no dream girl. You know what I'm saying? A dream girl at this point in time would be what? A silent and loving woman. All right? It's nothing better than a mind well instructed. Okay? And let me go get these precepts that I was quoting. Just a chick that's up on health. She know how to maintain her pH balance. All right? She know not to overdo it on the yeast in general. So she ain't eating no fast food. So it ain't no terrible smell in that sense, man. All right? A woman that actually knows how to take care of herself. You know, this is Ezekiel 44:23. And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. So Let me trying to charge it, but it keep clicking. Right? It might be affecting the live. Right? So lucky. So we have been given an unction to know all things, and that goes into knowing the scriptures, and then by knowing the scriptures, you know the correct way to live. So that leads to health. That leads to you being health conscious. That leads to you watching what you eat. That leads to you exercising. That leads to you, you know, we ain't trying to be no bodybuilders, but hey, at least do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, man. You know what I'm saying? Walk a mile or two. All right? You shouldn't be around here, you know, shoot, just fat. That ain't it. Because being fat is aligning with being slothful and lazy. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So we try to stay in shape, most definitely. Another one I quoted, I can't remember. But Sirach 37, right? Let's go get that one. This is Sirach 37, and I'll start at 26. A wise man shall inherit glory among his people, and his name shall be perpetual. And as the scripture states also, you know, you should know a man by his children too. The way that he raises children. If you're a true man in Yahawashi, your children are gonna vibrate that out. Because your house is set in order. Your house is in order. So it's gonna be order. You know, you do. Man, I went to school to pick up my son one day, and this other kid came out and was talking to his moms. He told his mom, he said, "Why you come and pick me up? I didn't want to leave yet. I walk home. You have to pick me." I was like, yo, who is this little nigga talking to? I was about to say something to him. Oh, yeah, that's your kid. You know? I got that wish a nigga would spirit if my kid ever. Boy, you crazy. You crazy. But hey, that's how these, there's a Jake too. That's how these 2/3 raise their kids. They talk to them any type of way, man. You know? So and then it wasn't no father. I don't know if it was a father at home, but it was just the mom. She was picking up the kids. And it ain't no discipline. Boy, you should know. You talk to your moms like that, you're going to have to come home and see pops. All right? That's off the rip. So that right there was evident that it's most likely ain't no father in the house. Because he feels like he could talk to his moms like that. You know? But we raise our kids the correct way, the proper way, with discipline, with manners, with honor, with respect. Right? So your name shall be perpetual, even by your fruits, your works that you do, and then by your seeds that you planted, regardless if they be spiritual seeds coming through brothers you may have helped, you know, and that's all through Yahawashi. Okay, that cycle continues of good works, of good fruit, because you was able to Yahawashi put that seed in you, you sprouted up, you dropped seeds, and it continued, and that's how the cycle's supposed to go. It's supposed to be repetitive. Right? This truth is supposed to be repetitive and spread out. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to do the works. All right? So verse 27, my son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. So you overindulging on the sweets, and then you start feeling bad. You should know, hey, I can't do this no more. I can't you know, stay in the cookie jar. All right? You know what I'm saying? Just eating, and then you feel bad afterwards, and you be like, damn, I shouldn't have ate all them cookies, right? So you should know that this is not good for your soul, right? It's parasites, at the end of the day, is a balance, because parasites is not a Edomite creation. Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, created parasites. They're there to balance out, because when you eat too much meat, as it states right here as well, right, you begin to get sick because it's many parasites in the meat. That's not stating that meat is bad for you. You know, meat is necessary, you know, but if you do it too much, then it begins to make you sick. So parasites is there to balance out, right? So what you eat is eventually going to show on you. You know, you look at an individual that they've been drinking and smoking since their 20s. In their 40s, they're going to look 60. But in our 30s and our 40s, we still looking 20. Because we ain't throw our lives away like that. We knew how to take care of our lives. We was health conscious. You know? Right? And that's furthermore another evident fact that Esau, hey, what they say, black don't crack, right? And that's talking about all Jake. You see Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, okay? They be in their 50s, 60s, still looking healthy and young, man. You know what I'm saying? If they live correctly and properly and eating the right stuff. If you don't want to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes, you're going to die, ultimately. And if you don't want to, you know, eat the right way, keep the dietary laws, then it's going to show in your body. You're going to have high blood pressure, arthritis, diabetes, all this type of stuff. Right? It goes along with those curses in Deuteronomy 28 because you didn't want to keep the law. So therefore, these curses shall fall upon you. You know? So going back to your flesh overtaking you with all these parasites. Sugar. Esau put sugar in everything, artificial sugar. What's in the sugar? Parasites. It's parasites in the gummy worms, the gummy bears, the candy, you know, just damn near, you know, all this type of stuff, man. And how to clean out parasites, because, hey, I'm giving a problem, but I got to give a solution. It's nuts, seeds, and fruit, okay? Detoxing without eating like meat, starch, dairy, and sugar. You have to leave that stuff and then just do some seeds, especially like some pumpkin seeds. It's really good for cleaning out parasites. Right, Brazil nuts, but only eat like 2 or 3 a day. Don't do no more than that because you can actually it's like a certain type of poison because they got something in it. But that's another balancing factor, right? And then papaya seeds, right? Watermelon, when watermelon season come, it's about to come in effect in May, okay? And it's just plenty of stuff, man. Pomegranate seeds, right? Seeds are extremely important. When you eat the watermelon seed. That's the best seed that you can eat, right? Salakia, let me put the charger back on. Okay. And then one thing I make always, you could do this after a fast or before a fast, is avocado seed tea. You take the avocado, you boil it, and then it gets to a point where you can cut it up. You cut it up, but you boil it for 10 minutes. It gets to a point where you can cut it up. You take it out, you chop it up, and then you put it back in there and boil it for 5 more minutes, and you drink it. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, parasites hate that smell. They hate that avocado tea, you know. So that's just a couple things to fight the parasites. You want to have your body in a we can't fully control this body, you know. This is sinful flesh, okay? So we can't never get to the point where we controlling this body, we controlling our thoughts, you know, and all of that. But you want to get it to a point of you want to get it to the best point that you can, you know. So be wise in what you put in your body. Be wise in what you are what you eat, right? So be wise in what you put in your, like a car, because this is a vessel. Be wise in what you put in your vehicle. You put some cheap gas in it, it ain't gonna burn long. You eating fast food, you gonna burn out. You know, you eating good food, you eating good, you know, you cooking and stuff like that, it's gonna be more nutritious, right? So it's just like that, man. So, hey, be conscious of what you put in this temple, because you got to take care of this temple. Let's end it with 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. This is 1 Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of power, and that the spirit of power dwelleth in you, right? So you are the temple of power. This is a body of, we were made to worship and serve Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi. What's the purpose of life? That's it. Okay? To fear Yahawah and keep his commandments. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. That's the purpose of life. Okay? It ain't for you to be a ball player, a rapper, a singer, you know? No, it ain't for you to travel to Thailand, Singapore, Asia, and do all. No, you know, the purpose of life is for you to serve Yahawah and Yahawashi. All right, that's it. That's it. It's simple. This thing is really simple, man. It's the simplicity of Yahawashi. Right? So, verse 17. If any man defile the temple of power, him shall power destroy, for the temple of power is holy, which temple you are. You know, defiling it by what? By going against the laws, commandments, and statutes. Okay? Doing things that are an abomination, that Yahawah looks at as an abomination. Eating pork is looked at as an abomination. Right? Getting tattoos is looked at as an abomination. Okay? If you got tattoos, okay, you got it, but don't get no more. You know what I'm saying? Adultery, right? Homosexuality, right? You know, we could just name them down, man. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of things. Right? Lobster, crab, shrimp, shellfish. These are abominations. Okay? Do you want to be looked at as abominable to the Most High? Or do you want to be counted worthy? Okay? So if you got issues, fight and fast. Because when you fast, what is that going to do? That's going to give you a better control of the temple, and it's going to also help fight these parasites to get them up out of the way. You starve them out, you know. And when you fast, right, consistently fast. Don't just fast. I'm gonna just fast once a year. Now you can't do that. Now, yeah, we got the Day of Atonement, of course, and that's necessary. That's a mandatory fast. But you shouldn't let that be the only time you fast. You need to try to fast at least every 2 weeks, I would say. Or if you can, every week. You know? It's based upon your spirit, it's based upon your work schedule and all of that too. You know what I'm saying? And then the more you fast, the easier it gets. Okay, just like the more you practice, okay, the easier the workout gets, right? So, hey, you know, that's pretty much it, man. All right, that's Parasites, Edomites, and Israelites. All right, I pray this was edifying. Let me see if it's... Damn, y'all been dropping precepts. My bad. Salakia. I've been over here. I'm gonna get some of these, man. Like the water, bro. The water. All your pages got clipped? Oh shit, for real? Man, what you done said? He thought I hit you with a strike. Man, alright, I'm gonna follow this page then. Let me make you a moderator. I was like, I know you were a moderator. Yeah, here you go. I got you, bro. Hey, Esau be tripping, man. They be tripping. Alright, this Ecclesiasticus 25 and 21. Stumble not the beauty of a... Man, damn charger, bro. I should have charged my phone earlier. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. Kind of going back to what I was saying about these Isaiah 4 and 1s ain't gonna be the dream girls. They're not gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Okay? A woman, really, her purpose is to incubate the child and to take care of the household. She's supposed to be a keeper at home. Her purpose is not, it's not for sex. Right? Now that's something, that's a bonus. That's something that comes with it, but that's not the ultimate part. Okay? So it's a thing about wife qualities. Okay? A lot of these women confuse whore qualities with wife qualities. She got a fat ass, she got breasts, she can fuck good and all. That's whore qualities. You a good prostitute. Right? Wife qualities are 100% different. Can you cook? Can you clean? Can you take care of a baby? Can you change a diaper? Okay? So don't confuse a wife quality with a harlot quality. Alright? But we know, man, the scriptures say our women shall be harlot in the streets. Okay? So it is them curses, man. at the end of the day. And these women are delusional, and that's going back to parasites, because parasites can get up in your brain and they can control you and make you be more sexually active and more promiscuous than you would normally be. Okay, this is factual. So parasites be causing a lot of people to do shit. Just like, you know, they say also like on the moon, we know the moon messes with tides and water. Now, what's in your body? 75% water. So they say on a full moon, it's more crime, it's more, you know, intercourse, it's more all of that, because your waters are being manipulated, right? So, you know, it's important to understand how the body functions, and that nature and all of this is, we all working together, right? It's all everything gives a benefit, you know, at the end of the day. Right? The trees ain't just there for no reason, man. The more trees it is, the better the air is, right? Why does Esau cut down all the mother trees, okay? And all this, man. Dude's a devil, and he has searched out these iniquities, and he's did these things on purpose to make this earth. He has destroyed the earth, and as the scriptures say in Revelations 11 and what's that, 18, you know, hey, Yahawah's going to destroy those that destroy the earth. All right. So back to that precept: stumble not at her beauty. Okay. Examine, prove a friend. You know, ask her certain questions, man. You know, I'm sorry for any brothers in the dating game right now, because I know that shit is ass. But you try her. Try her, man. Forget your wallet. I forgot my wallet at home. You know, see how she act. Yeah, check her, man. You know, yeah, hey, and pray, man. This is Ecclesiasticus 40:13. The good of the unjust shall be dried up like a river, and shall vanish with noise like a great thunder and rain. While he openeth his hand, he shall rejoice. So shall transgressors come to naught. Exactly. All right. So everything that they got, you know, they riding around here in the Bugattis, the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris. You know, they got the mansions. They got you got a private island over here. You got a mansion over here. What'd you have to do to get all that? Oh, you don't want to tell that story. All right. Let us know. What'd you have to do? How'd you get to this position, Denzel? How'd you get to this position, Dr. Dre? Right? How'd you get to this position? Oh, hard work and no, Nick, not no hard work and dedication. Okay? All right? Hey, we know how they got there. Okay? And it's going to dry up like a river. All right? Verse 15. The children of the ungodly shall not bring forth many branches, but are as unclean roots upon a hard rock. Children and the building of a city, jumping down to 19, children and the building of a city continue a man's name, but a blameless wife is counted above them both. What is being built up right now? The third temple. And this is going to be everlasting. So Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi's name is going to be everlasting. It's going to be forever continued. You see, this is why King David couldn't build it, because there was too much blood on his hands. But Solomon had to build it. To what? To establish and to honor and to glorify Yahawah. Right? So his name was continued. Now, in the same sense, we know Solomon is Yahawashi, right? So Yahawashi is back supping with us, and he's what? He's building that temple once again. You know, it's a beautiful aspect in the spirit, how we see is the temple is being built once again by Yahawashi, right? And it's going to forever glorify the name of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, man. All right, man, damn, I should have charged this phone. It keep going dark, and I can't see the comments, man. Shit, Salakia. All right, man, I'm about to wrap it up, though. But, hey, appreciate all these precepts. These some fire precepts. Proverbs 13:24. He that spareth the rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. Huh? And we know, you know, I know, Nashar, you from the South. All right, me as well. We got them switches, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? You got them switch trees. I ain't seen no switch tree in California. Y'all probably got the belt, but nah. But for real though, them switch trees. All right, you got your ass beat. Sometimes, hey, mama pick up whatever, throw a shoe at you, you know, whatever. She just, whatever she see and reach, she just try to hit you with it. That's it. Okay, it ain't child abuse, man. It is what it is. But we got our ass whooped. Okay, and that instilled and that let us know fear. Now, how much more the Heavenly Father? He has to chastise you, right? So you got to get that fear, which builds wisdom. Because as a kid, you was learning wisdom. You're learning, I shouldn't do that no more. Because that didn't go well for me last time. I need to come in when I'm supposed to come in. All right? I need to do boom, boom, boom. Okay? So you're learning. Okay? And you building what? Your discernment as well. Okay? And that wisdom helps you to analyze and assess situations better so that you can move smoother. You know? Keeping it going. Ecclesiasticus 30:8. And the horse not broke. Hey, that's beautiful. Precept in that. A horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful. Exactly. Going into these children, going into that child that I saw at the school that was talking crazy to his mama. That's horse not broken. Right? That's one of those wild horses because he never got broke as a child. So he grew up living wild, running wild, doing whatever, right? Not fearing consequences. This is the main aspect. It's the main aspect of a 2/3. They don't fear the consequences. Isaiah 1:3. Okay, they don't know their owner. Right? It said the ass know his crib. You know the what is it, man? Basically, I know what I'm talking. Let's get it, man, because that's a good one. All right, they don't know what's really going on. This is Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know. My people doeth consider. They don't consider the consequences. They're not holding themselves accountable. And they're not moving in the correct vibration and the understanding of this truth. Okay? So they don't consider that Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, he's had enough. They're like, because what are they fed? And this is, man, you wacky-tacky pastors and you weak-ass Israelites out here that's feeding our people bullshit, man. All right? That Yahawah is some friendly, he's not friendly. All right? He's not. He's balanced. So he's had enough. But our people won't consider that he's going to come back and rain fire down upon this place. They won't even consider that aspect, man. They don't nah, he ain't going to do that. He's going to forgive us. He's going to forgive us all. And we're going to, yeah, eventually, you know. But first, it's a thing called the second death. You just skip over that. That just doesn't resonate with you. All right. I got one more. I get one more. Okay. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is abominable to Yahawah, but a just weight is his delight. Perfect. All right. And that's it, man. Stay balanced. So going back to the parasites, going back to the food, stay balanced. Watch what you eat. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it on the meat, you know. And this is a whole nother lesson I want to go into. Unleavened bread. This is, hey, look up the difference between unleavened bread and leavened bread. And it's massive. Okay? The health benefits are massive. Okay? So the spiritual aspect is getting all that stuff up out of you. Okay? That's holding you back and that's destroying you. Right? That overgrown, that yeast overgrown, you know, which is that sin overgrown, these things that's not beneficial to you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory be to the Father and the Son, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi Ba'ashem and Kakadash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the Great Millstone as always. Shalom to the Lord's hopeful elect, and appreciate all the precepts, Akyam, the water. Shalom to you, Akwathiams, in the background, maintaining and listening and learning in silence. As always, Kwam Yasha Allah and Abad Babal. Shalom.